Welcome to Tax File. I am your host, Lauri Bala Hassan, and today's episode is packed with valuable insights. We kick off with the latest tax news, bringing you up to date on important developments. Then, in our Did You Know segment, we uncover interesting tax facts. We'll also hear from you in our Vox Pop segment, exploring public opinions on key tax matters. And in the Knowledge Zone, we take a closer look at those views and break them down in details. Next, our Professional Insight segment features expert analysis to help you navigate tax complexities. And finally, in Words on the Net, we respond to your questions and comments from our social media. Get ready for an enlightening discussion. Let's dive in. And now, the news. The Federal Inland Revenue Service, through its Emerging Taxpayer Group, has initiated a campaign for the adoption of cutting-edge technology and innovative tools as panacea for boosting compliance among taxpayers across all sectors in Nigeria. Activities and programs at the retreat were built around its well-crafted theme, Emerging Taxpayers, Harnessing Technology and Innovation for Tax Compliance. Ama Chido has that report.
The Coordinating Director, Emerging Taxpayers Group, Mr. Kabir Abba, in a remark while flagging off a two-day insightful retreat for the group, said that technical platforms are currently the most valuable tools used by the FIRS to ensure prompt registration of businesses, tax payment, and insurance of tax clearance certificates. Mr. Abba maintained that the Emerging Taxpayers Group is a creation of the FIRS Executive Chairman Dr. Zak Adedeji, and it's saddled with several responsibilities which also include reactivation of all inactive taxpayers with a view of ensuring their maximum compliance toward their tax obligations. He asserted that the ETG has decided to place a high premium on compliance over tax collection, adding that compliance, when properly harnessed, will yield high value of tax collection. The CDETG also stated that the two-day brainstorming session was fashioned out to avail the group a veritable platform to discuss the strategic plan for 2025. Collates feedback from existing field offices and design innovative initiatives to achieve laid targets and serve taxpayers efficiently. The Director of Taxpayer Services Department, TPSD, Dr. Love Onanuga, stated that the TPSD would provide additional support to the Emerging Taxpayers Group in 2025 to ensure the attainment of service excellence and inclusive of evolving trends in sustaining taxpayer satisfaction at the FIRS.
Nigeria's quest for economic greatness has received a significant boost as the International Monetary Fund, IMF, has indicated its support for the Single Window Trade Project, a groundbreaking initiative poised to streamline trade, increase revenue, and propel the country to the forefront of African economies. Aisha Abdelkader reports.
The Executive Chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, Dr. Zak Adedeji, recently hosted a delegation from the International Monetary Fund, IMF, Fiscal Affairs Department, IFAD, led by Mr. Marco Antonio. The meeting served as a strategic engagement aimed at fostering collaboration between the FIRS and the IMF in support of Nigeria's National Single Window Initiative. The discussions focused on identifying key areas where the IMF could provide technical assistance to bolster the efforts of the National Single Window team. The initiative, which seeks to streamline cross-border trade processes through enhanced interagency coordination and digitalization, is a critical component of Nigeria's broader economic reform agenda. The IMF delegation expressed keen interest in supporting Nigerians' drive for improved trade facilitation and revenue mobilization through the use of technology and institutional strengthening. Dr. Adedeji commended the IMF for its continuous support and reaffirmed FIR's commitment to achieving a seamless and transparent trade environment.
Meanwhile, in a move to deepen interagency collaboration, the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, through its Intergovernmental Relations Department, IGRD, has initiated a fresh partnership with the National Youth Service Corps, NYSC. The engagement, marked by a scheduled visit to the NYSC headquarters in Maitama, Abuja, aims to establish joint revenue and communication channels as well as collaborative project initiatives. Husaina Ibrahim reports.
The director of the IGRD, Dr. Umaru Idris Ahmed, emphasized that the visit was in line with the department's mandate to foster stakeholder collaboration, enhance FRS public image, and build strategic relationships. On the NYC side, Deputy Director Muhammadu Salamatu confirmed that the scheme's readiness to strengthen its ties with FRS. A key component of this collaboration will be the creation of an NYC FRS tax CDS group within the NYC Secretariat. This renewed synergy is expected to enhance tax awareness and foster mutual growth within the two institutions. Other benefits include enhanced tax awareness amongst young professionals, improved revenue collections through better communication channels, collaborative project initiatives that align with national development goals.
To cultivate the culture of occupational safety and health, reduce the rate of work-related death and injuries, and to protect the rights of employees, the Federal Inland Revenue Service has joined the World Day for Safety and Health at Work 2025. This year's event featured a trade fair and an exhibition of safety gadgets and equipment. The reports. The executive chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Dr. Zak Adedeji, while speaking on the significance of the day, said the greatest assets the service possesses is its workforce, and so no stone is left unturned to protect and prioritize their safety. He commended the organizers for putting the event together in a bid to enlighten and remind staff of the need to maintain the safety standard of the service. The gathering moved to the mini trade fair venue where professionals were on hand to teach staff the rudiments of cardiopulmonary resuscitation and also showcase a range of safety gadgets. The theme for this year's event is Revolutionizing Health and Safety, the role of AI and digitization at work. And that's a wrap on the news. And now to our Did You Know segment.
Did you know tax compliance offers eligibility for tax benefits and credits, such as tax deductions, credits and incentives that may lower your overall tax liabilities?
Let's join Mariam for the Vox Pop.
Hello and welcome to the Vox Pop segment. My name is Mariam Julie Adura. Today we're in the heart of Abuja to find out what can be done to encourage voluntary tax compliance. Come with me. What should the government and FIRS do to encourage voluntary tax compliance?
Simplification of tax governance policies, because one of the things that give rise to low tax compliance most times could be because of apathy. Apathy in the sense that one, the populace are not really seeing what the government is using the taxes for. That is one. Two, the policy coherence of the tax laws is still very, very low. So if the tax laws are simplified in the sense that each taxpayer understands what he or she is supposed to do, that, and also the issue of social contract, that is the first thing. that government should do.
We need to continue to engage all stakeholders at the federal, subnational level, including judiciary, including legislators, so that everyone will come together. It's one nation, it's one country. It's need for us to come together and begin to develop policy, that will drive authority compliance.
The tax is an obligatory duty of every citizen. It is your tax money that the government uses for infrastructure, basic amenities, and everything. So once you put out correct awareness out there to inform people,
Also, consistent public campaigns and advocacy to educate citizens on the importance of taxes and how revenues are used. Government has in many ways simplified the tax system. For example, the introduction of Tax Pro Max, which has automated the tax processes from registration to filing and payment. The government has also offered several incentives for tax compliance, such as tax credits, early payment discounts, and recognition for compliant taxpayers.
My name is Bayo Nonuga. I'm the President's Special Advisor on Information and Strategy. I want to urge you all to continue to watch TaxFile.
Finally, let's gain some expert perspectives on the professional insight.
You see, when we talk about tax information that is going on now in Nigeria, all we are willing to do is to use technology to accomplish some of this. And for instance, this technology, we were able to generate additional 100 billion in the first quarter just by reviewing some opportunities that had always been there and taking advantage of them. But now I'd like to talk more about the tax information bills that are going on. We have 4 of them. We have the Nigerian Tax Bill, the Nigerian Tax Administration Bill, the Nigerian Revenue Service Establishment Bill, and then the Joint Revenue Board Bill. If you notice, all we're saying right now is let's stop doing it the old way. We can't be doing it the old way and be expecting to get something new or better. So it's time for us, with the leadership of Mr. Taiwo Edele, who is the chairman of Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms Committee. Some of the advantages they've put in place now, that's in the bill, is that turnover of 50 million naira and below are now tax exempt. and there will be no more withholding tax deductions on small businesses. Also, company income tax had been reduced from 30% to 27.5% in this year, 2025, and for subsequent years to be reduced to 25%. We don't want people to be carrying plenty of papers, files around and about in achieving this. We want to do it by the technological way. Right now, we started with VAT automation, and we have some very wonderful automation vendors in place. However, just to let you know that we are not resting on our horse in FRS at all, and being led by the SMO, that's the Strategic Management Office, and who is also doubling in as the Chief of Staff, that's Mr. Nta Akure. All we are saying now is we want to move in from just being automation vendors to e-invoicing, and let us see. And what is e-invoicing all about? We're saying there's an internationally acceptable form of creating invoices that is used worldwide. What e-invoicing does for any nation is that value-added taxes, both input and output, are easily accessible and achievable. Also, when we talk about VAT returns or even VAT refunds, it's a lot easier because you are in the full picture. And we're talking of a cycle now. What goes around comes around. Once I'm talking of my VAT input, I can also talk about my VAT output. I hope I have an opportunity to quickly tell you what VAT input or VAT output is all about. VAT output has to say more with sales, and for you to have made a sale, you must have had a cost of purchase, and that is your VAT input. Tax Promax is currently undergoing an enhancement in effectiveness drive to meet our customers. I call them customers even though they are taxpayers, and that's it. To further more, I can never be tired of talking about my executive chairman and Mr. Customer Concentricity, because enough of saying why didn't you pay your tax, and more of how can we help you to be a better taxpayer, and that is what my executive chairman stands for. And the beauty of what we've got in place now is such that in the comfort of your bedroom with your laptop, you can get to apply for your tax clearance certificate, and it pops up to you once you are tax compliant. And he who comes to equity must always come with clean hands. Even when you are unable to pay any of these taxes, let us appreciate it. Let us understand why. We want you to succeed. FRS wants you to excel. What that simply means is you will be issued a restricted tax clearance certificate because you have indicated openness and you have shown integrity. So when you go do your business, you may have money tied down in debtors' accounts. So we will not stop you from continuing doing your business. And with that, I'm sure even when we get to the MDAs, the government agencies, where you do your business as a contractor, and that's to do with gift mix, where withholding taxes are being deducted, there is a very, almost at the last stage, technology handshake that is going on, whereby you will be able to get your withholding tax credit notes even uploaded to Tax Promax. TTL, as you might realize, I've been saying, it actually means tax technology liaison. There is the tax and there is the technology. We are using the technology to drive the tax informations that is going on right now in Nigeria. But what we are saying is technology will not make it happen alone without the people who are tax professionals. So as tax professionals, that is who we are in TTL. We are to enlighten both internal stakeholders, which are the staff and colleagues of ours, and enlighten the external stakeholders. And we would like to bring the external stakeholders to our tax consultants that had for so long not been taken specifically, and that's what we are doing now. The tax consultants will be appropriately recognized, identified. We are partners in progress with our tax consultants, and we will move from tax consultants as external stakeholders even now to the taxpayers themselves. And the taxpayers are not just individuals, entities, corporate companies, but even the government agencies. We want to identify with them in specifics what their challenges are and how do we attend to it. We, to a large extent, work on data that we have in-house from all the banking operations, and we review it with whatever the taxpayers have filed. And we do what we call compliance testing, which has to do with adequacy and promptness. So at times, if you have indicated 20 million naira as a turnover and your data with us is showing something else, we want to wait and see the correlation. That's why we are talking of compliance having to do with completeness and promptness, that you are indeed a partner in progress that we wish you to be.
Welcome to What's on the Net. I am Joyce Wateku. Noble A. Sonny on X is making a suggestion. According to him, also introduce e-TIN verification on Tax Pro Max. It's frustrating going to the office to activate just TIN that can easily be done online. Dear Sonny, with Tax Pro Max, registering for your tax identification number TIN is simple and hassle-free. You can start by clicking the register button on the home page, then selecting your registration source, whether as an individual, a corporate entity, or a state incorporation. Next, you'll fill out your identification details and choose how you'd like to receive your OTP code. Once you enter and validate the code, a data form will appear for you to complete. After filling it out, you'll finalize the process by declaring your information, adding your name and designation, and submitting your registration. Tax Pro Max makes tax registration seamless, secure, and convenient for you. Again, Ade Dotun on X is asking, what is the difference between VAT and withholding tax? In response to your question, value-added tax is a consumption tax applied at different stages of a product's production and distribution. While businesses collect and remit VAT, the actual cost is passed on to the consumer, meaning you pay VAT when purchasing goods and services. It's often compared to a sales tax, but it's applied at multiple points in the supply chain. On the other hand, withholding tax, WHT, is an advanced tax deducted directly from certain payments made to individuals or companies. Instead of waiting until tax season, this tax is withheld at the source, meaning that before you receive payments for services or earnings in specific categories, a portion is deducted and sent to the relevant tax authorities on your behalf. It serves as a form of tax prepayment to ensure compliance. Over to you, Laurie.
That's a wrap for this episode of Tax File. I hope you've gained new insights and a better understanding of today's tax matters. The conversation doesn't end here. Join us on our social media handles to share your thoughts and questions. We are always here to keep you informed and engaged. Until next time, I am Laurie Bala Hassan. Keep watching Tax File. FIRS, simplifying tax, maximizing revenue.